For recipe notifications, do not forget to subscribe to Get Curried and click on the bell icon. The moment you think of Hyderabad, the first thing that comes to any foodie's mind is Hyderabad's amazing array of food and cuisine. To me, as someone who's a follower of Indian cinema, I immediately start thinking of the movies that are shot in Hyderabad. For a simple example, Daawat-e-Ishq. Well, from that movie today, let's make Shahi Tukda. Hey guys, this is Varun Inamdar and welcome to yet another episode of Khana Peena Aur Cinema. This recipe of Shahi Tukda, of course, is going to be a little elaborate because it has 2-3 components, it has 2-3 parts. Let's begin with 2 of those parts. The first one, of course, is milk. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to use full fat milk. Keep this on a low to medium flame. Keep a wooden spoon or a spatula so that we can start stirring it intermittently. In the other pan, what I'm going to start making is the sugar syrup. For that, I'm going to take water and sugar. You can of course keep increasing or decreasing the quantity of sugar or water as you please. What I have taken in this case is equal quantities of sugar and water. We need to make a nice and flavorful syrup out of sugar and water, and for that we need to keep the syrup on medium to low flame and the sugar needs to start dissolving slowly and gradually. Make sure the color of the sugar does not change. To this, for some flavor, I'm going to add in strands of saffron and along with this, green cardamom. Let's lightly crush this, and also if you can, just run a knife like so that the flavor becomes nice and intense. Add this straight into the syrup. While the syrup is getting made, also remember to keep an eye on the milk that is getting reduced. While I have used full fat milk, you could also use some cream or a combination of milk and cream. Well, if you notice, the syrup is done and ready. Let's turn the flame off and this can rest till then. While this is resting, let's move on to the third step, which is frying the pieces of bread. For frying, I'm adding desi ghee. Once the ghee heats up, we'll slide in slices of bread. Well, this is the same recipe that's also known as Double Ka Meetha, where double in this case is actually the double roti or bread. Once the slices of bread are nicely fried golden brown in color on both sides, let's transfer this straight into sugar syrup. Let's also fry the remaining pieces of bread. Once these slices of bread are dipped in the syrup for somewhere around 30 seconds, let's transfer these on a plate. Similarly, let's dip the other slices of fried bread. And let's allow these also to steep in the syrup for 30 seconds. Now that most of our cooking processes are done, let's keep our concentration on the milk reduction. So let's bring it a little closer. And this is the right time to start adding in Khoya like so. Stir this well and ensure that the Khoya nicely dissolves in this reduced milk mixture. Remember to keep scraping the sides so that the milk does not start burning, especially on the sides and at the bottom. Our milk mixture has become nice, thick and well reduced. Let's sweeten this now. Well, in a commercial setup, generally, there's sugar syrup, fried bread and this Rabri mixture which is ready. But of course, they have the liberty to do that because they're doing that on a regular, constant basis, day in and day out. But since we may choose to make this once in a while, let's not waste this syrup. It's nice and flavorful. It's got the flavor of saffron and cardamom. And that's enough to flavor this reduced milk. Let's turn the flame on for one last time. And let's stir this constantly for precisely 2 minutes. With this, our sweetened Rabdi is ready. Let's now move on to the assembly. Well, you would have seen various different types of Shahi Tukda. The most identifiable form is 3 triangles on a plate with Rabdi, with some pistachios, with some nuts and some saffron. But there's also another type which is actually like a cake. So let's do that. For this, we need to layer slices of bread. Cut these absolutely carefully and place it like so. The next is to layer this with some Rabdi. Not too much, just little. Just spread this like so. And this is now followed by the next layer. Let's alternate the layers of Rabdi and bread. Let's move on to the last bit and let's pour in all of the Rabdi. Let's level this nicely and evenly. Time to garnish our Shahi Tukda. The first one is Chandi ka work. This gives it a nice and of course a royal look. In this case, I'm using some cashew nuts, some pistachios and almonds. And finally, some fresh rose petals. Our Shahi Tukda has set well in the fridge for an hour. Let's cut it and serve. Do enjoy this flavor of love by making Shahi Tukda from the film Daawat-e-Ishq. If you've enjoyed watching this video, do not forget to like and share and subscribe to Get Curried.